admitted that you made it. You
I
made it
didn't
up.
say I made it up.
So are you saying this is fake news, Mr.
I didn't say I made anything up.
What did you say?
I said that it is not based in science and it just appeared.
TikToks on how corrupt your home country is. So you're gonna want to stay locked in, because you ain't gonna believe this.
By 2045, there will be no males left on this planet. Because I know they're watching me right now, and they're mad at me.
Who's they?
Our entire world economy is based off of the politicians and the authorities that give the politicians their accreditation. And those authorities, those universities, are all based, their entire curriculum is based off the Platonic solids. We have a chance to fix, and most people can fix it, but they don't want you to do that because they need people to pass away. Why? Because of a thing called bisphenol, hard plastics, or phthalates. So they started putting it in polyester and all of these clothes. But as a result, what plastic does in those fine particles does in our body, estrogen is made from carbon. Testosterone has carbon attributes to it. Then the male's body produces testosterone and it fills those receptors. For the woman, the female's body, her ovaries produces estrogen, and they go and their body is now imbalanced. Phthalates, what it does, it mimics the estrogen. It mimics the testosterone inside those adrenal receptors. And so now the testes don't produce, and so men become effeminized. Females become masculinized.
I don't know about you, but makes a lot of sense to me.
Saya lagi senang. Ini dia akan muncul di bawahnya jadi happy. Dan ketika saya marah, dia akan muncul di bawahnya angry. Dan juga ketika saya sedih seperti ini, dia akan menunjukkan bahwasanya saya sedang sedih. Sad.
So it's a great video. First, nothing happens for about 1 minute and 40 seconds. But if you go forward, let's go forward a bit here. So at about 1 minute and 40 seconds, you'll see an object. Right now, you just see stars. These are just stars. But at 1 minute 40, you'll see an object coming in from the bottom right, moving towards the center. Here it comes. It's from the bottom right, moving to the left, and then it moves and starts going up. So not a satellite, a very weird movement. It's also very slow. So not a bug. A bug would be moving pretty quickly, but it moves up and stops. Stops just for a second, and then moves up again. Again, something stopping and hovering, a drone. But look, it looks just like the stars in the video. So really weird. This is weird too. So it keeps moving up, slowly kind of going up. And then it stops. And it stops for about a couple minutes. For a couple minutes, it just sits perfectly still here. What I love about this is that it fits in with the stars. It looks exactly like any of the other stars up there, and it's just sitting there, very still. So I'm going to fast forward this because it sits for about 2.5 minutes, just perfectly still there. Then about 5 minutes into the video, in just a few seconds here, we'll see it start to move again. So fascinating that it just sits perfectly still there. It does seem a little bit dimmer than before. But here we go. There you go. Starts moving again, slowly across the screen to the left. And just for people who know, this looks like a camera that is on somebody's roof. It is a sort of kind of security camera. We are in contact with the witness. The camera is looking up at the sky in between a couple trees.
I don't know. Could it be a spirit of some sort, astro projecting or whatever? Because a long time ago somewhere I read where they were talking about death and the life cycle and how when the soul leaves the body, it goes back into the cosmos as a star. Don't know how true that is. But when people record videos and super zoomed in on actual stars, they don't look like suns. They look like vibrations. So I don't know. What y'all think?
Man, shit done got serious. This is day 7 of me trying to learn how to lucid dream and astral project. And last night, things got serious. So if you haven't been following along, yesterday somebody brought up to me that I should try the gateway tapes while I'm on my journey of trying to learn how to lucid dream. And last night I did just that. And yeah, them hoes work. And if you haven't heard anything about the gateway tapes, they're basically a list of audio files that are supposed to help you get more in tune with your own energy and consciousness. It was kind of a CIA program back in like the 50s or something, and now it's released to the public. So he gave me a specific one to try, but as I opened up the folder and looked at them, I said, might as well just try the first one, right? And dog, here's where things get crazy. So in the gateway tapes, the biggest thing is this thing called hemisync. They play one sound in each ear, and it's supposed to help both spheres of your brains or hemispheres of your brain activate at the same time and unlock your consciousness. So I get to the point in the exercise where they start playing the hemisync sound, and they give you a second to just listen to the hemisync and see how it feels. And as soon as that sound starts playing, I start getting deeper and deeper into this like trance, I would say. And at a certain point, I realized that I'm seeing this color, and it was a color I've never seen before. It doesn't exist. So all the colors we see are basically light reflecting off an object, and our eyes and brain perceiving what they see in that light. So you might see this red cup, but to somebody else, that cup could be blue. And the only reason they're calling it red is because every time they seen that color in school, somebody told them it was red. Well, nobody's ever told me about this color I see. Only way I could explain it is just an unnatural reflection of light. It was actually crazy. And so as I'm going through this process, I start to realize something crazy. I'm not hearing any music anymore. I'm actually not hearing anything. And then I start to notice all I can see is this color, and I start to know something crazy. I'm not even awake. So I just keep trying to look at more and more of the color, and I don't understand where it's coming from because all I see is darkness in this color. And it made me come to this crazy realization that I think I was seeing the color of my soul. Hold on, hear me out. I'm not crazy. This is just an assumption, but damn, it was real crazy because while I was having this lucid dream, all I could focus on was that color, what it looked like, and trying to describe it. I really can't even describe it because it's just an unnatural reflection of light. That's the best way I could describe it. But as I get deeper in trying to focus on this color, I start to lose my focus. And now I'm realizing I need to be able to build focus to stay in these lucid dreams, because as I lost my focus, I just drifted apart into regular dreams. And next thing I know, I wake up and it's 5 in the morning. So if you want to hear more about the gateway tapes and my journey to lucid dreaming, you can go ahead and give me a like and a...
But let me ask you, the convictions come down 34 yesterday, and your father goes out there and just basically raises the middle finger and says, we're going to win anyway.
This was a rigged, disgraceful trial. The real verdict is going to be November 5th by the people. And they know what happened here, and everybody knows what happened here.
And within hours, Benny Thompson of Mississippi, who's a monster Democratic congressman, introduced legislation to pull his Secret Service. Yeah. So basically they're saying, okay, we'll kill you now.
If he goes to prison, we want to pull his Secret Service. So basically, if we put him in a cell, we're going to put him in a place where he could be murdered.
But that's a death threat.
Of course it is. But
from a member of Congress.
Again, should it surprise us? I mean, you look at half the congressmen, get in their faces, make them feel it. I mean, they can say these things and they are lauded as heroes. If we said something even remotely like that, we're literally inciting violence.
You know, it's wild to think of the amount of bullcrap they're going to try to pull in between now and him possibly going to jail, or from their words, him not going to jail, and the election. That's going to be wild.
Do you guys remember taking 2 soup cans and a string and making a telephone with your friend? I've made the same kind of thing with solo cups, some metal foil, and a speaker cone spring. But when I put this thing up against my beehive, have y'all ever heard of anything like this before?
What?
Shit ain't making sense. The math ain't mathing. So let me get this straight. As a convicted felon, you cannot vote. As a convicted felon, you cannot vote for who is going to be the next president of the United States. But also in the United States, you can be a convicted felon and run for president? I'm trying to make sense of it on my own. I don't get it. That's like not being able to sell or buy pew-pews, but you're the CEO of the NRA. That's like not being allowed in a club, but you the event coordinator. And you know he ain't gonna serve no jail time. You know he ain't gonna serve no jail time. So the man did all of this. He's gonna get away scot-free and then also run for president. That's like not being able to be within 100 feet of children, but then you the principal of the school.
When you put it like that, it kind of all goes back to not trusting nobody, because that's right. Like, how can you be convicted on all of these charges? How can you be convicted of all of these charges and still speak as if you're running in the race? Like, how does that work? Because if I was convicted of 34 charges and be a convicted felon, I couldn't do anything. But hey, that's how money works though, right?
Y'all, so while I'm on slavevoyages.org and I come across this, select a database of enslaved people to search. You got African origins and you got oceans of kinfolk. Is it just me, or I never knew that? Y'all knew that? The Oceans of Kinfolk database provides personal details of more than 63,000 enslaved African Americans forcibly transported to the New Orleans from various ports in the United States during the 19th century.
Girl.
Pan-Africans, why aren't you searching this database? And the fact that there's two choices is telling you people were here already. There should be a paper that reflects the information that they uploaded to the internet. So why I can't click on anything, right? This is the cosigner. This is the owner. I'm just supposed to take this and run with it, right? We supposed to take this and run with it. Federal Writers Project and the WPA. That's all I'm gonna say. Peace and love, y'all.
Y'all, I try not to watch the news because I just be feeling like I'm overexposed and there's always a bunch of fear mongering going on. I turn the TV on, the news is on, y'all. They is talking about how H5N1, this new strand of the bird flu, is literally sweeping not the nation, the world by storm and taking these animals clean out. He's talking about 103,000 turkeys, 600,000 wild birds been taken out. Tens of thousands of sea lions and seals have kicked the bucket. 69 herds of cows across 9 states in the United States. Now they talking about cats, domestic cats. The pets in the houses are being infected. Then they start off saying, oh, it doesn't affect humans whatsoever. Humans can't take it. It's just animal to animal. Now they're on their 5th human who has been infected. And now the virus is evolving because initially they said it caused only mild symptoms, no coughing whatsoever. The last person who got infected yesterday has signs of respiratory issues. The doctor on the news talking about it's more contagious than the second strand of COVID that was going around. They talking about, oh, it's nothing to be concerned about. But the mortality rate is 50%. 50% in humans, meaning the 5 people that caught it, half of them, so I'm assuming that it's 2.5 people have. What is going on? If I ever thought about going dairy free, I was just thinking about doing the Daniel fast for the new moon. Oh baby, that just might be the thing. It just might be time to just completely excommunicate myself from dairy, because what is going on? He and the doctor, they like, so can humans be infected by eating, the things from these animals that these animals are producing? And he's like, oh, there's just not enough research to be able to say. I'm looking at the TV now, they talking about they recalling cucumbers because of salmonella. Y'all, there is a war on our food right now. You can't explain this as any other way. There is currently a war on food. And if we are solely dependent on the supermarkets to provide us with food, and then it's a recall on everything, let me stop thinking, because when I get to thinking, it just be
Either grow your own food or die a happy man or woman. And when I say that, I mean eat what you want. Just know its consequences come with that later on in life.
Shit's getting weird. Port Infinity.
I moved to Dubai to become a porta potty. And if you don't know what that is, it's women who come to Dubai and get pooped on for $50,000. Black girl living in Dubai. What I spent in a day living in Dubai. So y'all know I just moved into a new apartment and it been beating my pockets down. How I spent like $3,000 on Amazon and I'm still ordering.
I've been trying to do this new thing now where I don't judge people for how they make their money. Okay? Because we're going through some shitty times right now.
Pun intended.
As long as you're not messing with kids, as long as you're not hurting other people, if you feel that being defecated on for 50 grand in Amazon Prime account is worthwhile, do you think? But you know what this reminds me of? This reminds me of that Dave Chappelle special where he talks about getting pissed on by R. Kelly. Let me see if I can find it.
Now, if somebody comes in here and puts a gun in my head and says, Chappelle, you got a choice to make. You're either going to jail for a month or we'll let you go, but you got to let R. Kelly pee on you. Hey, bring in R. Kelly and tell him to stay away from my ass. I'd rather get pissed on the outside than fucking the butt on the inside. I can't go to jail with some smooth Botox balls and think everything's gonna be all right. It's not that kind of place.
Wow.
Take my chance with that piss. Piss will wash off with a 10-minute shower. I'm certain of it. Coming right out. What can I do? They're gonna put me in jail.
Like, I wonder if it's like that for her, right? After you get defecated on, you go back to your hotel, you take a shower, and you're like, do the washing right off. Get that Honda Accord I was looking to get.
I think I speak for all white people who got black friends that there's no greater victory or sense of accomplishment in your relationship with your black friends when they pop off and call you their ninja. Thank you, baby. I ain't never been so damn excited in my life. I didn't know whether to say it back. I ain't do it. I ain't gonna do that. But let me tell you something, bitch. I put this shit on my wall. I told my mama. I made a confession to the priest too. Told him. So you know we all. Man, that's a good day, bitch. That's a good day. What up, Juicy? I think I speak for all white people who got black friends that there's no great.
If you get called that by a black person, oh, that's a hell of a title. That is a hell of a title.
Hello, folks. Breaking news. China's defense minister has made a bold statement. China is ready to forcefully stop Taiwan's independence. Taiwan considers itself a sovereign state, but China views it as a rebellious province. We will not tolerate any further moves towards independence, says China's defense minister. The tensions between Taiwan and China date back to 1949, when the Chinese Civil War ended. Since then, Taiwan has developed its own government, economy, and military. The U.S. has responded, saying it's committed to supporting Taiwan's security and defense. We will continue to support Taiwan's security and defense, says U.S. Defense Secretary. China's statement has implications for the entire region and could potentially lead to increased military presence. The U.S. has a vested interest in maintaining stability in the region. Tensions are rising in the Taiwan Strait. Let's keep a close eye on this developing story. Just hit follow button to stay tuned with us and get updates of every news. See you soon with the next headlines.
We already saw this with Ukraine, and now we're seeing it again. I wonder who else business they gonna jump in.
How worried are you about the situation in Taiwan? Because China is kind of keeping a bit of a grip around the whole island now.
I'm not worried, but I'm concerned that they're moving as much as they are. But I don't think they're going to do anything more.
Wow. You see that mask? Look at all that synthetic skin at the bottom right there just hanging off. You see that? He said he's not worried, but he's worried about how they're moving now. Which one is it? You ain't worried, but you worried? I don't know.
I think one of the creepiest things about the dark web is this. So a while ago, I downloaded. I basically started Googling dark websites. You never scroll at the top. You got to scroll towards the bottom. Scrolling.
by the Bay is a hitman website, and anybody can operate off of this website. That's the scary thing about it. It could be your coworker, your neighbor, it could be your lover. They get on there, and you basically sign up with your weapon. You take a picture or video with your weapon, let them know that you're going to be one of their hits. Then do an assignment, you complete the assignment, send them another video or picture. I noticed because they gave you instructions. They gave you actual Christ, but it gets creepy because when you start accessing these websites, sometimes they access you. And after logging off of the website, I noticed that the light wouldn't be on at all, would be green, like they were watching me. So I ended up getting, I got a new phone. Getting the virus, ended up getting hacked, and I was getting watched by.
That's why you need a VPN, bro.
Dark web. Where I went wrong, because I did have a tour, but they was able to get me. So you got to be careful with searching on those engines, for sure, because things you see it change you. But not only that, even if you're on there, figure out that you're on there.
Yeah, I remember years back when I searched on the web, on the dark web, and that's how I came upon the Frazzle Drip video. If you know, you know. And I had got so deep and I found out so much stuff, bro, to the point where that's why I no longer concern myself with alien videos. I look at them, and that's why you see me say all the time, oh, it's bull crap. Or I'd be like, I'm way more concerned with what's going on behind the scenes in Hollywood and this corrupt G word. 'Cause I've seen the videos, and to know the code words and things of that nature now. And now when I see it, it's crazy. And that's why I'm super overprotective with my kids and what they watch and what they see, and you know, and how they present themselves online if they're online. It's actually crazy, man. So you have to really be careful. Really do.
Represents science, Mr. Fauci.
I am a scientist who uses the scientific method to gain information. Again,
yes or no?
No, that's not a yes or no.
Yes, it's a yes or no.
I don't think it is.
Okay, well, we'll take that as a you don't know what you represent.
Oh,
But this, as director of the NIH, you did sign off on these so-called scientific experiments. And as a dog lover, I want to tell you this is disgusting and evil, what you signed off on, and these experiments that happened to beagles paid for by the American taxpayer. And I want you to know Americans don't pay their taxes for animals to be tortured like this. So the type of science that you are representing, Mr. Fauci, is abhorrent. You confess that you made up the COVID rules, including
I didn't hear what you
6
said.
feet social distancing and masking of children.
I never said I made anything up.
You admitted that you made it up. You
I
made
didn't
it up.
say I made it up.
So are you saying this is fake news, Mr.
I
Fauci?
didn't say I made anything up.
What did you say?
I said that it is not based in science and it just appeared.
But
oh my
this is science. And making up guidelines like 6 feet distancing and masking of children. Do you think that's appropriate?
Oh my gosh. How does something that you were so sure about in the beginning just appear? Bro, this is crazy, man.
Children. Do you think that's appropriate? Do the American people deserve to be abused like that, Mr. Fauci? Because you're not doctor. You're Mr. Fauci in my few minutes. No, I don't need your answer. That man does not deserve to have a license. As a matter of fact, it should be revoked, and he belongs in prison.
Suspend.
Wow.
Here you are, without your mask, where you got to go and enjoy the game and sit right next to people not following the 6 feet of distancing, not wearing your mask, and everyone else was forced to stay home and stop enjoying life. And your science, here, your science is displayed perfectly in this picture where children in school were put in plastic bubbles because of your science.
Wow.
Your repulsive, evil science. And let's go back to your very own email. You said earlier you don't use email. Oh, you do? Right here.
They
This is
got
your
his
own email,
ass.
where you said the typical mask you buy in the drugstore is not really effective in keeping out virus. I do not recommend that you wear a mask. This is your email. This is your own words. But yet children all over America were forced to wear masks. Healthy
crazy.
children forced to wear masks, muzzled in their schools. And then they were forced to learn from home because of your so-called science and your medical suggestions, while you and all your cronies get paid from Big Pharma. You know that what this committee should be
That's
doing?
what it was
We
about.
should be recommending you to be prosecuted. We should be writing a criminal referral because you should be prosecuted for crimes against humanity.
Wow.
You belong in prison, Dr. Fauci.
Wow. Wow, man. Bro. Oh my God. I am mind blown. But I'm going to say this and I'm going to leave it here. The thing is, I already knew it, but it's hitting the fan now. There is a man who was running, I think, to be the medical advisor for the United States to take his place. And he was supposed to run up under President Trump at one point in time, but I don't think he ever got the chance to do it. And his name was Dr. Sheba. Go look him up, Dr. Sheba. And he said this a long time ago, that everything that Dr. Fauci was saying, during the time he was saying that everything that Dr. Fauci was saying was a lie. You did not need to wear masks. They're only doing it because I ain't gonna say the name, but BF, Big F, you know what I'm talking about. They were paying everybody. They were paying all of these politicians to say the things that they were saying, bro. This right here proves right here, man, that there is so much corruption going on at this point, you guys. Supporting your G word is out the window. Now you got to look at your neighbor and say, are we going to ride together? That's where we at right now, y'all. And there's only a few, if any, politicians in those positions that we can possibly put a small amount of trust into, because then they have their underhanded missions and things too. So I don't really know. But y'all, we got to look at this thing differently. We got to open our minds. We got to open our hearts to change, because if we don't, we doomed. We are doomed. And I ain't even got much to say on this one, man. And like I always say, do what you will with that information. Hey, if you like what you saw, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, turn on that notification bell so you know when I upload. Hop in the description, hit that link, head over to Rumble, hit that follow button, man. Because we're going to be going live to talk about this stuff. This is real, man. And remember, challenge the argument and not the person.